And then we did have a top four Archaladon from Julius Brunfelt from Finland. Pretty normal list overall. Does have the 1/1 Dialga, Black Belt's Training. These are all cards we're kind of used to seeing in the deck. No super crazy things happening here.
Yeah, it's got all the power supporters, the Turos, the training, the Thornton. It is a Pokestop build. I'd say that's like the one standout thing is a more aggressive list. Most people have been playing Jamming Tower up to this point, and the two Trekking Shoes do feel out of place to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's a Sander moment right there for sure. Just two Trekking Shoes hanging out.
We got a Dragapult build here, the Slowpolt with the Monkey Dory, the Ursaluna from Kim Pobega.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here. It feels like this feels like definitely a list built on top of the Fernandez build for sure. The Defiance Vest is like the big card that I always see the Fernandez
Yeah.
talking about and hyping up, and we see that is in here. Also, I guess does have Halucha and the Monkey Dory, which I don't think I've seen a list with both yet. I don't think the Fernandez have ever played Monkey Dory and Halucha, so that's something a little bit different.
How do you feel
Um,
about the rare candy in this deck? So that was something that Anil played at the Top Cut in Vancouver. He had the rare candy in the
yeah.
deck, but I saw an interaction between him and Gabrielle on Twitter where Gabrielle was calling out the rare candy as like not a good card in the deck.
That's interesting. I don't know. It allows you to like make use of your fourth Dreepy when you prize a Drakloak and still retain more Drakloaks in play, which I kind of like. But I feel like you don't set up for Dreepy that often because you need other stuff on your board, or like if you prize one, it just doesn't kind of work out. So I don't know. From having played 0 games, it doesn't feel necessary. And in the situation, from their success, I definitely would trust the Fernandez brothers before anyone else with the list, having played 0 games. But I will mention Tord also played the Red Candy at EUIC. Can't really argue against Ford as a player, whether or not he's right, he's not always right. One thing I will mention as well, Gabriel was in my chat while I was watching Stockholm, and he was like calling out like the Latias in the builds as well. Whenever a slow pot would make their way on stream, he's like, "That card's terrible." He's definitely very passionate about this deck. Can't blame him with the success he's had as well. He definitely has some strong opinions on it, but like I said, he's got the success to back it up. So
Is the
um,
Latias so you can like get an attachment and retreat into Badoo at the same time? I assume.
I have to assume that has to be part of it. Also, Ursaluna in the late game, if you use Ursaluna early against like a Miraidon deck, because you can go like attach Crispin turn 2 into an Iron Hands with Ursaluna or something like that, then being able to like pivot out of that potentially maybe is another reason. Some more just more mobility, I guess. But honestly, having Latios on your bench sounds pretty terrible in most matchups. So I think I side with Gabriel on that one a little bit because that card seems awful to have in play.
We've got Cloth here from Drew Stevenson, a top eight list here. Nothing super crazy in this deck that we haven't seen before. There's the Reggie
Yeah.
Drago, which has come in and out of lists, but it's not a surprise to see.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Once again, it kind of has everything. Like we see the stuff, the cards that Ryuki was kind of lacking at UIC. It's like seems like people are doing the monkey door thing, but they're putting the Iron Bundle back in. They're putting the Ursaluna back in. It
Yeah.
really is like everything in this deck now.
Yeah, so dude, I didn't quite realize how diverse this top cut was. We've got a Lugia here, a 2/2 Chinchino build, but the interesting thing to note here is the Radiant Charizard for sure. We talked about this last week a little bit after it got top cut at Vancouver, and yeah, I mean it seems pretty strong to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like the switch up that they went for here. They're including the Razar, but then they're not playing Ursaluna, so they still have that efficient late game attacker. It's not as tanky, so it's not going to be able to survive a hit, but you still have that. And then you get to include a more aggressive attacker that's a one prizer for stuff like the Golden Go matchup. Because Ursaluna obviously doesn't pair well into that matchup. There's no Weird Deer as well, but it kind of does that for you as well. So I kind of like that. I like that. I kind of like that the Radzard over the Weird Deer plus Ursaluna. And we see they snuck the Water Pawn in here as well, which is like definitely a very iffy card. When it works, it feels incredible, but it doesn't come up that often. So you also found some space for that.
Yeah,
Pretty cool list, actually.
got good old Snorlax, Blocklax in the top cut. We've got what the heck does Root Fossil do here?
Increases their retreat
Oh,
cost
and
by
retreat
1.
cost.
But
Okay,
how is
sure.
that better than a Snorlax? I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, why is this in here over like a third Night Stretcher to get back another
Yeah.
Snorlax?
And we see it is kinda like the turbo, build with the 3 Pokestops and 3 trekking shoes, but it's not playing usually when I've seen those turbo builds in the past, they play Miraculous headset, or is that what it's called? Miracle headset?
Yeah.
Whatever recovery, because you just, like, mill to the headset, you chain headset with Silene to recover supporters at turn after turn after turn, but this one plays Megaton Blower, so I assume that's for Lugia. So you can beat Lugia, I think, you just, like, Silene the Megaton Blower turn after turn after turn, some Crushing Hammers to help out maybe, I don't know, but, definitely an interesting build. Also, don't really have any thoughts on it, to be honest, because once again, don't really play style, don't really play control. Yeah.
Oscar Madsen with a Dragapult build in Top Cut. Triple Badoo in this deck.
Yeah, dude. I think I've been saying this recently. I think Oscar is like one of the. I really like the decks that Oscar comes out with. I'm a big fan because he doesn't just cook up like every. I really like what he puts out as far as decks and deck lists go. And maybe I would probably say the same thing for people like Tord if they were more public with like all of his deck lists and stuff like that. But like Oscar really just like all of his lists, they're not just weird or wacky, but they're also super competitive. And like all the inclusions that he has in his deck, it feels like they all have purpose in like a competitive setting. It's not just a weird or wacky deck to be weird or wacky. This is a little bit more tame, I feel like, out of like some of the stuff that Oscar like talked about as far as deck lists go. But I'm a huge fan of Oscar, what he comes with as far as deck. So if you're looking for someone to get some inspiration from, or just look for something a little bit different than Charizard Pidgeot 6.0, then go follow Oscar Madsen on Twitter because I'm a big fan of what he cooks up, and I think you would be as well if you check it out. So huge shout out to Oscar, and he's been honestly doing. He got he got ninth at EUIC,
Yeah.
just got top cut here. Like he's been putting in the results as well this season.
Yeah, and he's tweeting lists pretty regularly. And it's like the type of thing as well you can tell like like some people will just like, "Oh yeah, I want to build a Cynthia's Garchomp build, just paste in standard supporters and stuff like that." But there's like more thought behind these things for sure.
Yeah,
It feels like.
Yeah, whenever I look at an Oscar list, I'm like, okay, it feels like he has put more time and effort into this, and like every card that he plays in the list has like a purpose in like a competitive setting as well. Not like something like super memey or super gimmicky just to be memey or gimmicky. So
Yeah.
I expect big things from him honestly in the future. I feel like he's a player. I feel like this has to be like his breakout season, for sure. So I'm going to be excited to see where he goes as a player moving forward.
Fabian here with a top cut with Gardevoir.
I just can't get behind Irida and Gardevoir. Oh, there's 4 Arvin and 2 Irida. Okay, I can get behind it when it's like that, I guess.
There's
But
only 3
sometimes
Curlia.
yeah, I did that is a oh, it's only a 1 rare candy build. I thought it was a 2 rare candy build. I assumed it was 2 rare candy. Yeah, I heard that, because they mentioned it on the cast when Hetty was on stream, and they mentioned that Hetty was only playing through Curlia, and someone in my chat said that Hetty and Fabian were playing, yeah, the exact same 60. That is weird. 1 candy if you had 2 candy in here, I'd be like, "Okay, I can understand the 3 Curlia." So it's trying to be, like, a little bit more aggressive of a Gardevoir deck. Um, Dude, I don't know, this list is weird to me. I also always just, like, hate Irida and Gardevoir decks, but usually people are, like, sacrificing Arvins for Iridas, but this list literally has 4 Arvin and 2 Irida, which is wild. They really wanna find you really wanna find that turn 1 secret box, I guess.
Got the
Um,
Manaphy back in here.
yeah. That's interesting. Is Manaphy even that good right now? What are we sniping? Who's sniping right now?
We've got the Water Ogerpon
True.
in like the Lugia deck.
Dude, honestly, like,
Radiant
speaking of
Greninja
Manaphy
and Golden sometimes, but not even
yeah.
really.
Yeah, there's not I feel like no one's sniping right now like that. They were teching for Thomas. Ooh, they knew what Thomas was bringing to Drago, so they tech for Thomas.
Or
Genius.
Lost Box.
True. True. There's a little bit of sniping going on. But speaking of sniping, dude, just to bring this up real quickly, I've been looking at the results from city leagues, and it feels like Ogrepon box is having its up and downs, but no one is playing Shaman in literally anything. So it's like, dude, it feels like we're going back to. I feel like I definitely complained about this a lot in the Reggie Drago format. I'm just like, please, just put a Manaphy in your deck to protect yourself from Kirim. And like people just kept playing Charizard and stuff with no Manaphy. People getting turn 2 Kirims out here. I'm gonna be playing Shaman in a lot of my decks when it comes out, but people just never protect it. I feel like right now protecting your bench is a little bit more iffy for sure, but I don't know. Just like a random tangent to go off of. But yeah, last person in top cut was Thomas with the Reggie Drago. It's not 10-person cut here. And it could have been 12 people, I believe, but a couple ties prevented that.
Thomas here got 17th at EUIC and then ran it back with the same 60 for Stockholm to top cut.
I remember this list, the double canceling Cologne. I didn't remember it was Thomas, but yeah, the double canceling Cologne build here. And when you look at this list, there's literally not a single card in here for Badoo. Besides Eladios. Eladios is like the only card. But yeah, nothing in here for Badoo at all. You're just like, all right, that's it. Honestly, I feel like Latias is one of those cards I could have seen maybe should have been included in earlier builds of Reggie Drago instead of the Switch, just because it's like a way to move your Drago V or Radzard through a Pokemon search
You
card.
definitely wanted the Switch whenever Gardevoirs were playing Mawile for sure.
Ooh, that is true. That is fair. That is fair. You're cooking. You're cooking. The double cancel clone is still interesting to me. I'm not 100% sure what that's for because it's because no, I just don't know. Because like Guardians aren't even playing Manaphy for the most part.
So much Snorlax,
It's
bro.
Fabian. I guess yeah. Cook install. Get him.
All right, yeah, and then other than that, there's nothing super super crazy here. There's an Iron Thorns. There is a Hydreigon in top 32, which is
Yeah.
cool to see. Someone cooked massively with this one for sure.
Bro, people just keep running it back here. Netty with the run back as well from
Oh,
EUIC.
true.
Yeah.
Same
Uh,
60, run it back. I
and
love to see it.
I believe Netty did lose. I saw Netty tweet on Twitter. I believe they lost the win in for cut with Hydreigon.
Mm,
So this isn't like a win up to 32. There's definitely a big difference between losing your win in and ending in top 32 and then winning up to top 32. Those are like pretty big differences in terms of like your tournament success. So I put a little bit more value on this
in your
Hydreigon
opinion.
list. I put a little bit more value. Well, no, no, no. I'm not saying they had a more successful tournament. I'm just saying I think you'd agree there's a difference between those two things.
Also, they did win up into top 32.
Oh, maybe it wasn't them. I thought someone played like a weird deck. Was there a different Hydreigon out there?
Not that did this well.
Dude, maybe I'm just trolling, bro. I swear I saw someone tweet about Hydreigon that they lost their win in. You know what? It could have been a senior. Could have been a senior player. And obviously that means nothing, so.
Whoa. Holy cow, this guy coming after the seniors like that. Dude, the juniors had a 15-player cut.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
The whole
goodness.
squad got to play in Top Cut, bro. What the heck?
Char or whoever was first seed. I guess I don't know if it was Charlie. Whoever was first seed is the only one who didn't have to play. Holy cow.
Yeah. We're still kind of waiting for one of those big top cuts to happen in Masters. We haven't had like
What do
a
we had 16 players in Merida, right? Or was it 12? It was 12, wasn't
no, it's
it?
12. We've had 12. We had a couple 12s. This one could have been 12, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like a 16 plus player top cut. Although seeing how things play out, it feels like plus 16 will never actually happen. It would really be nice for them to give us back an extra round of Swiss and just be like top cut cuts off. It's asymmetrical top 16 or asymmetrical top 8 stopping at top 16.
Sure.
I think everyone would like that. It's like the meme.